Batman, Superman, World's Finest, issue 31. Mark Waid writing with Adrian Gutierrez on the art. So, this is an Eclipso story. It is an arc. It's not a one-shot. I mean, it was obvious because it said part 1 in the title page. And it's a bit of a Justice League story entirely. It's almost like he's getting a bit of practice in for his Justice League Unlimited book here.
Yeah. And the art here is Gutierrez, who did Blue Beetle.
Right.
So I was very excited to see because art was a high point on that book.
Yeah, I like the art. Certainly, I think some characters look better than others. I think I like his Superman. I like that big, thick lined Superman logo on Superman's chest and the shading on his body. That's kind of cool. So the story starts with the Justice League on the Watchtower, watching an eclipse and being like, "Oh, this is amazing," but that activates Dinah, Oliver, and Hal all turn into Eclipso soldiers, and it cuts back 24 hours earlier. The Justice League are helping build a solar-powered city in the desert with Bruce Gordon, which is a weird. It's a weird name because I just immediately think of Bruce Wayne and Jim Gordon.
Flash. Oh, that is right. Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, not Flash.
That's right, too hard.
What Flash are you thinking of?
I was thinking of Flash Gordon.
Oh, Flash Gordon. I was
super pulpy. Dr. Bruce Gordon is a very pulpy name.
No, I was thinking of other DC stuff. I was like, oh, that's like two Batman characters smushed together for some reason.
Yeah. So Bruce Gordon is the traditional holder of the Eclipso Diamond. So as soon as I saw that pop up, I was like, oh, Wade's doing Wade things. So that's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't remember his name, but I didn't mean to suggest for a second that I thought this was an original character. As soon as they mentioned him, I'm like, oh, this is just an old character that Wade's using. But yeah, basically Eclipso tricks him because there's like a sort of duplicate diamond that traps or switch or basically turns Dr. Gordon into an Eclipso, and it frees Eclipso from the black diamond, which is in the Watchtower. And this all happens over the course of like him. Basically, he's getting frustrated because they're only at 92% efficiency for this city that they've built, and he's like, I must get to 100. And I'm like, 92 sounds pretty good. Like 92 is a pretty good rate. Yeah,
but he wants to get 100%, right? Because it's a solar city project that's going to power. It's going to change the way they do, energy and stuff. So, but yeah. So we get Eclipso showing up. I got a little confused with the switch, but once it gets explained later in the book, because I was like, that definitely what he picked up was not a diamond.
No, in the moment, I don't think it's meant to be completely understandable. Like, you have to get the explanation later. But basically, he picks up this thing and tries to use it, and it cuts to the black diamond, and you just see like probably some of my favorite art in the issue. Is it's like the camera, as it were, is like going in closer to the diamond, and like Eclipso has got his head down, and then he sort of picks up his head, and his eyes like light up. So it's a very good sort of like, oh shit, just got real kind of moment. But no, I mean, honestly, like, probably some of the fun of this issue is mostly just Waid having all these Justice League characters and the artist drawing Eclipso, all these different people. I mean, the Atom shows up, but he's Eclipso possessed. What's the correct term here? What do you call someone who's Eclipso taking over?
It's essentially possessed because you're under the influence of Eclipso at that point.
They're eclipsed. They're eclipsed by Eclipso.
They're eclipsed. Yeah, there we go.
I thought of a word. So Red Tornado is kind of like key here to try and stop a bunch of fighting on the Watchtower. Elongated Man gets involved, a whole bunch of things going on. Batman and Superman are like, hey, what did we do the last time we fought an evil version of Hal? And it's like, well, we used the Green Lantern ring to fuse together into that being, remember? Okay, well, there was a lot of magic involved there, and we can't really just do that. So what are we doing now? So this all builds up. The Dr. Gordon, who's is eclipsed down on the ground, is basically building a giant cannon, which he then sets off as a great full page. Well, it's a big long vertical panel down one side of a page of this cannon firing into the sky and blowing up the Watchtower in this big full page spread. Very Death Star, blow up kind of image. So that's fun. Yeah, it's mostly action. It's mostly really fun to look at. I liked it feeling like the Justice League are caught off guard. It was very well paced. Sometimes, because World's Finest, the biggest problem I sometimes have with this book, which I generally quite enjoy, is that sometimes when Waid does like an issue that's mostly action, it does just feel like a bit of fluff because it is just action. But I mostly liked this because it kind of like the villains striking right away. They're all caught off guard. They're struggling to find like, you know, their footing. And the issue ends with Red Tornado is able to teleport out at the last possible second before it blows up, and he's on the steps of a building, and he's like, "Damn it, we need help, please!" And then the reveal is where he's went at the end. He's went to the Justice Society. So the final page is a full page spread of Alan, Jay, Wildcat, Hawkman, Sandman, Dr. Fate, Dr. Midnight. So cool. And then it says, next time Justice in trouble, make it a double. We're getting double justice.
Yeah. I love how bulky he makes all of the JSA look as well. Because it makes them seem larger than life.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Except Alan. I'd say Alan looks kind of sleek, but everyone else looks kind of bulky. Especially Wildcat. Wildcat looks like he's ready to do like a weightlifting competition. He looks
like he's been hitting the venom. Just a bit. But I feel like Gutierrez does this a lot with like in Blue Beetle, where he'll, you know, to draw attention to things or to make things seem bigger or smaller or whatever, he would play with proportions. So here when you get to that page, you know, especially like you said, Wildcat, because he's in the foreground, they seem like larger than life. So a lot of fun. Again, I'm always a sucker for an Eclipso story. Especially when it plays out like this.
I also wonder as well, given that, you know, I joked at the start that Waid maybe is doing this arc because he's kind of like almost teeing up what he's going to do in Justice League Unlimited, which I think is set present day, but this idea that he's going to maybe like reference back to some stuff. I wonder, since we're about to get a new GSA book, I do wonder if he's also maybe going to put in a few things here that Lemire wants set up, you know, that maybe Lemire said, hey, I'm going to do this, can you like make a reference? You know, I wonder if this little arc is meant to kind of, you know, just, you know, be a little lead-in to both of those books. Spiritually, maybe not directly in plot, but... No,
but kind of like a bridge there, you know. A bit adding a little more context to things.
Maybe at least getting us all in the mood for both books that are about to start. So, it is quite pretty. I will say, obviously, you know, when I started it, it wasn't more... not it was more last time, I don't think, but like the disappointment faded quite quickly because I wasn't really as familiar with this artist, but most of it looked great. Like Batman and Robin looked very good. It seems like it's the same colorist that it was before because everything's matching there in terms of the vivid colors and whatnot. There's that Silver Age feel that it has. So yeah, quick read, very nice read. The ending got me excited for next issue, so I can't really complain.
You know, and like again, like you were talking about the colorist, when stuff blows up and Gordon gets, you know, eclipsed by Eclipso, just that whole page of the transformation, the way that Gutierrez handles it with the and then the colorist playing off all the fire and the yellows and the reds and everything, which, because when you think of Eclipso, you think of the cooler colors, the purples, the blues, and all of that type of stuff. So to see the opposite, it made Eclipso seem scary. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff in this one.
Yeah, what are you rating World's Finest 31?
I'm gonna give this a 7.5.
Yeah, this cat sounds. I'll probably go straight 8. I think. I did like this. I think it really felt like it put me in the mood for what's coming next. I think the JSA were that extra ingredient that just was maybe slightly missing before, where I was like, okay, this is fun. The action's good. I like an Eclipso story. But it was like the JSA at the end that made me go, oh, okay, all right. Now I get the excitement. Now I get like what this is and like what we're, you know, what the spiciness of it is. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me.